We all enjoy the French people and their great decisions over the years, but today I feel like it's time to talk about my favorite Frenchman, Polnareff. More specific, Jean-Pierre Polnareff. Now, you may see this video and you may ask the good question, why am I standing? But that's just because I'm so exhilarated to talk to you about Polnareff. And this may sound like I'm glazing a little bit, and I just might be just a little. I enjoyed Polnareff's character so much in part 5 in particular. I enjoyed him in part 3, but it was more so part 5 that I felt like he deserved better. His backstory was so tragic for no reason. He had to go through such tragedies. He literally, after the end of part 3, never saw Joseph Joestar again. He saw Jotaro, but the only times he ever saw Jotaro, as far as we know, was in the 90s. He was forced to go on the run because of an evil Italian mob of a guy with dissociative personality disorder and a bad problem with people finding out his identity, chasing him down. He literally couldn't even speak to the outside world, which also begs me the question, why didn't he just, leave? Jean-Pierre Polnareff was born in 1964 in France to a mother who was very sick and died at a very young age for Polnareff. And he was also born a natural stand user, although he didn't find it out until a little later. Now, as we flash forward a little bit, I think 3 years before the events of Stardust Crusaders, his little sister was killed by Jay Galley, who was the son of Enya the Hag, I think, which, what a fucking family tree. He had vowed that he would kill the man with 2 right hands and avenge his sister. Also, in 1986, he had learned of a young man who would become Diablo, making some waves in the European trade, and he planned on going to try to stop it. Now, before he could complete that, Dio caught him a year before the events of Stardust Crusaders and implanted a flesh bud on him, making it so he was now Dio's loyal servant. I want y'all to know I have not talked about anything he's done in part 3 or 5 yet, and we are already through a mountain of trauma. Like, that's insane amount of trauma. Mother dead, sister dead, and sexually assaulted. Now you're hunting down this random man. You don't know what he looks like. You just know he has 2, I think it was right hands. It was either 2 right or 2 left hands. Either way, he got 2 of the same hands. That's all you know. Then an evil angelic vampire comes and puts something within your brain. That's wild. Now, of course, we all remember his introduction in the Stardust Crusaders as an enemy against the Joestar group and him fighting Avdol, and Avdol eventually almost burning him alive to a fucking crisp. And while I and most other people did enjoy his time on the Stardust Crusaders, we can all say his time on the Stardust Crusaders is what got Avdol killed, because this man kept making stupid decisions in vain of revenge. Now, admittedly, I understand being so heartbroken by a loss that you literally have nothing else on your mind except revenge. But man, you're gonna allow this guy right here to just save you both times? Second time, okay, whatever, right? First time though, why would you try to push him? Like, you come on, alone? You're trying to push alone? What are you doing? He must have thought his stand had like a super buff or something. I don't know. But that first time is when Avdol almost died, and the rest of the group decided it would be a conscious effort for us all to keep Avdol's diagnosis and the truth about him not being dead away from Polnareff, at least until he recovers, because Polnareff can't hold water under a bridge. But the second time was far more tragic. In all honesty, that one hit me right in the feels, because Avdol literally just gave him a speech like, I can't always protect you, and once we go in here, you're on your own. And Avdol, he said, okay, we're gonna be good. Just for seconds later, Avdol turn around and get fucking eaten into the void. Then his arms get snacked on like a fucking meal. But it isn't enough for Polnareff and the rest of the group to just lose Avdol. No. Hiriko Araki made Polnareff literally give up in an act to save Iggy. And Iggy instinctively moved Polnareff out the way, saving him and killing himself. Are you kidding me? And now we can finally get to part 5, where it's a lot more personal damage, at least in my opinion. We have part 5 where I can start in the flashback, but I'm gonna just start at the point where he joined. He joins, he calls the group, he's like, yo, I got this stand arrow. It completely changes your stand. And I know y'all are pursuing Diablo. I'll help. I'll literally help. I'll save y'all. So now that he sent this group of delinquents his way, you know who else he sent his way? Diablo. Because of course Diablo is waiting for when they start making moves towards the Coliseum. And of course Bruno is partially fucking dead, so he can't see anymore, and he thinks Diablo or Doppio is Trish, so he brings him to the Coliseum, where Doppio finds Polnareff and immediately transforms into Diablo. Now we have to see Polnareff in another life-threatening battle. Do you know how annoyed I would be in order to be in that situation? You're telling me I just risked my life even contacting y'all, and of course Doppio finds some sort of weird way to get here? How are you here? Why are you here? Of course Diablo was not going for Polnareff, trying to keep the stand arrow from him and trying to run away. So of course Diablo cut him down and cut his body down for good this time. But before Polnareff could completely die, he stabbed himself with the stand arrow, therefore making his stand have Requiem. But then his body immediately died, but his spirit lived on. And since Requiem was just left without a user, went a little haywire. And we had the body swapping thing, which ended up leaving Polnareff's soul within the room that Mr. President created. So now Coco Jumbo and Polnareff's soul now exist within the same body. Granted, I can already feel the people typing in the comments. Polnareff, his soul is separate from the actual turtle. It's just in the turtle stand. So now Polnareff, his soul just has a room to where he can linger in, which is nice, you know. At least he has a semi-decent ending. No friends left, no family left, but a turtle and Giorno. Kind of Mista, I guess. But that's really all I got for y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know, we're on the road to 5K, so anything helps. And until next time, peace.